I can start.
All right.
RJ, the team moved to 3-0 in overtime games this year on Saturday after just going through that against Louisville, against Clemson, or not Clemson, against Syracuse and almost Clemson. What was your confidence level like heading into the overtime when the clock struck at 0 in the second half?
Well, I mean, I've been in situations like that before, from previous games and this past season. So, going into overtime against Baylor, I just wanted to do whatever I had to do to get a win. I told my teammates, let's hold our heads, maintain our composure, and let's just do this for the guys that, do it for Brady, do it for Caleb, and do it for the whole team. We knew, what was at stake, and we knew we wanted to win, so, why not go out with a bang?
RJ, what did your phone look like after the game when you first turned back on?
I mean, I usually turn my phone off before a game, so once I turned it on, there was a bunch of notifications from Instagram, Twitter, text messages, so, I couldn't even really respond to that many people all at once, so it took a couple of minutes and days, actually, just to get back to everyone, but it was a lot.
You can use this forum to apologize to everybody for not
I apologize.
Who's the first person that you talked to afterward?
I would say my mom. I saw my dad at the game. My dad was at the game, so then I called my mom just to speak to her because she wasn't there.
RJ, we played 40 or more minutes 3 times in the last month. What kind of toll does that take on a player, especially a guard that has to work against pressure? And how have you sort of tried to prepare yourself each time to play well in those situations, especially in March when the pressure's up?
I mean, I know it's March, and so this is the big time for me to recover, get my body well rested, whether, that's, taking an extra nap like I love to do, or, just be in the ice tub and just, calm my mind down. I know it's a lot of, it's a mental thing, going into, this tournament, and, you get tired. I said earlier, after the Baylor game, there was no time to be tired. I told myself I can't be tired right now. I got to put the team on back and do what I have to do to get to win.
I was just going to ask, what do? You just said calming your mind. Do you meditate? Do you just try to, like you said, take naps and just try to reset? How do you do that part of it?
I just tune everyone out. I don't really talk to anyone. Going up to the game. On game days, I just have my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm just really just focusing on what I have to do. It's just something that helps me keep calm and tune out the noise.
How long did it take you after the Baylor game for your kind of adrenaline and mental state to return to normal after that?
I was on a plane. Took maybe a 20-minute nap, and then the rest of the time I was just up thinking that game was really crazy. Going from a 25-point lead until crumbling and having different moments and different feelings, emotions. So I mean, I just the game kept replaying in my mind, but I was happy with the success and happy with the win that we pulled out.
Speaking of the game, RJ, speaking of the game, particularly in the overtime, drive to the basket, 3-point play, crucial play. What was going through your mind after you made that play there?
Well, I also wanted to redeem myself for the end of regulation. I knew I should have drove the ball. So once I got that opportunity to get the 3-point play, I saw the open space and I saw the ability to drive my man to the basket. And I was able to finish. So that was a big crucial moment for me and for my team for us to give us a big lead.
What was the play at the end of regulation? What was the kind of design on that?
It was a ball screen action. I got the mismatch. It was just a high pick and roll. I just saw an opportunity where now looking back on it, I could have done a better job of just breaking down my man going earlier. So I think in overtime I was able to pick up on that and execute that.
And then with the press break, after looking at tape, what was kind of the issue with y'all's press break?
I think I just saw spacing and positioning. And just not it seemed like everyone was too bunched up together at one point a couple of times. It was just more about having outlets and options being available.
Considering the circumstances of losing a 25-point lead in 10 minutes, you're going into overtime, and you don't have Brady. He's not even on the bench to give you that support. Caleb's fouled out. What does it say about this group to pull that game out when you had Trez and Justin out on the floor for those whole 5 minutes?
It was a next man up mentality. Trez and Justin and Puff and the rest of the guys that stepped up big time and big moments. We needed that. We had Brady and Caleb go down, so we needed the next guy to step up and help contribute to this win, and that's what they did.
And Trez's 3, when you look back on that, did you did that give you guys, kind of put you at ease when you hit that three, you realize, okay, we weathered the storm, now we're back in front, we can be who we are?
Actually, when Dontrez hit the game, that three during overtime, I was actually like, we're good. We're gonna make a run from here. That was a big three. I'm super happy for him. Just the amount of work he put in, and just trusting the process. So I'm glad he enjoyed that moment.
A lot of talk about how the guys responded to Brady afterward, but what about Dontrez? I saw some pictures of some guys hoisting him up in the locker room as well. At 25 minutes, and he had 9 points in that big shot.
Yeah, I mean, we always just told the guys, just to be ready because you never know when your number's called. And when his number was called, he was ready. So it's just for him to, feel that moment, March Madness, big time plays he made, and that big three. I'm just happy for him. He's just joining us.
When Caleb fouled out, did you ever take a moment when somebody's shooting a free throw or something and say, all right, I've got to carry this thing in terms of the ball handling and everything the rest of the way? Did you ever have that conversation with yourself as crazy as it was out there? This is sort of on me the rest of the way?
I just knew I had to regroup the team as a leader, not just as myself, but for the other guys to give them confidence to be able to play well during this moment, and just instill that confidence so they could look back on this and be happy for it. I wasn't just mostly thinking about myself, but just mostly think about as a team that we need to do this, not just put my not for me just have this think I have to put the team on my back.
Go ahead, Art.
You started the season was basically two guard front. Can you walk us through the evolution of how you became the primary ball handler?
I think basketball's positionless. I don't really think I'm the primarily ball handler. Anyone can handle the ball, but it just came down to towards the end of the season where I was just put in positions to make plays for my team. So that's really about it.
What's the approach, the preparation this week? As Leaky's the only guy on this team that's ever been to the Sweet 16 before.
Just to enjoy the moment and just take it one game at a time. Don't get too big-headed. What we did on Saturday, was that Saturday? Yeah, Saturday, was phenomenal. But now, going to Friday with a new mindset of, trying to get a win.
What is it like to get home and obviously you talked about replaying the game through your mind, but then you got back to Smith Center and there are fans everywhere. What was that moment like?
Soaked it all in. It is something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Just to see how much fans care for this place. It was amazing. Just walking through the crowd, giving them high fives, and have smiles on your face. That's something that's that I'll cherish forever.
RJ, what is it about Brady that you guys have embraced him so much? It seems like sometimes with transfers coming in, it kind of takes a while for both that person to warm up to the team and vice versa. But it seems like he's always, even before he's the close of the season, that you guys had always kind of embraced him.
I don't know, something about Brady that when soon as he stepped on campus, it just felt different. Even in open runs when he played with us, he always just was that energizer. He he could just get buckets. He's always just fun to be around. He has his own personality that we all love, and I'm just happy he's a part of this team.
Is there a secret, I don't know if that's the right word, to getting off those shots that you get off when you're driving to the cup? The three-point play in overtime, that was a high degree of difficulty. You're falling down, it's left-handed. You had a bunch of those at Duke, in Cameron. How do you get those off? It's not like you're, getting it's not like you have a ton of bounce off the floor, no offense. But, how do you do that?
That's something that I've been doing my whole life. I find ways, to score the basketball at a very high level. That's something I've been doing since high school. I've always called myself a certified bucket getter. So I live by that, and it's just something I always practice too. From summer workouts to leading up to the season, just perfecting my craft. That's really about it.
Take one more for RJ.
What have you seen out of Tiger Campbell in UCLA? And you guys obviously similar position, similar build and size. Just going into that, what have you seen on film?
I know he's a really good point guard. He runs the team well, at a good pace. I'm just looking forward to that matchup.
All right, thank you, RJ. We'll get Coach Davis in here.